Welcome, wrestling fans. We're back with our 30th episode here, Utah Wrestling. Today, we're in the Utah All-Stars, which is the event of the year. Some of the best matches you'll see all year will happen tomorrow at the UCCU Center. Before we get to that, though, want to give a shout-out, a big congratulations to Cole Moody. Went out to the Doc Buchanan. Beat the number 5 kid in the country in the semifinals and ended up winning the Doc Buchanan tournament in California, which is a pretty big deal for that to happen. We have some other Utah kids out there that did well. I think Terrell Bearclough played 4th. You guys know of anybody else that placed? Cade Carlson placed.
Cade Carlson finished 8th, I believe. Yeah.
So, and Cole, you actually went out there to the event, didn't you?
Yeah, and watched the finals and watched Cole wrestle. He looked great. He a lot of those finals matches were 1-to-1 overtime matches. Cole went out, won it in regulation, had a couple of very nice takedowns, and dominated the match in the finals. Really, yeah. As you mentioned, his semifinal match was the one that was tight and a big win for Cole. But he looked great. What represented Utah well. Terrell, he dropped his first match of the tournament and then came all the way back to finish 4th. So that's tough. That's, I think, one of the hardest things to do in sports. So that's kudos to him. And as you mentioned, Cade Carlson, Corner Canyon, took home some hardware as well.
And for those that don't know, the Doc Buchanan, Cole, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say it's probably one of the toughest tournaments in the country, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. What they've done with that is the way that it started out was California, their match count was if you wrestle one match, it counts as one match. And they had like a 30 mat count. And so they were getting a lot of weak matches. Some of the tougher kids in the state were getting weak matches that were counting against their match count. So they created the Doc Buchanan that said, and they invited only certain people. So you have to be invited to the Doc Buchanan, and there's not a weak kid there. And that's the bottom line. Round 1, there are great matches with some tough kids. So it's an outstanding tournament, and yeah, arguably one of the tougher ones. Bergen Catholic from New Jersey won the team race there, and they were impressive.
Cool. Anyway, congratulations to Cole Moody. Quite the feat. Also this week on Friday, Utah Valley University is taking on number 12 South Dakota State here in Orem. Should be a good match. I think UVU had the chance of pulling the big upset, which would be huge for the program. They beat North Dakota State, who was ranked top 20. But if you go on our website, WrestleUtah.com, article about the event, and everyone can get free tickets if you go there and you click on it, and I think you have to put a passcode in. So make sure you do that. Get your free tickets. Come Friday night at 7 p.m. Try and fill the house, and I think it'll be a pretty fun event. So it'll be some good matches. I think Seth Gross from South Dakota State ranked, Nate, you were saying ranked number 1, I think right now, right at 33.
Yeah.
And obviously South Dakota State has some great wrestlers, being ranked number 12 in the country, and Utah Valley is a pretty strong dual team. And they match up, I think, pretty well against South Dakota State. So should be fun. 7 o'clock Friday. Be there. Get your free tickets. WrestleUtah.com. Okay, well, let's move on to the main topic. Tomorrow is the Utah All-Stars at the UCCU Center. Junior high matches start at 5 p.m. High school matches start at 6:30 p.m. Some of the best wrestlers in the whole state will be there. Some of the matchups, you won't see matchups like these anywhere else. As we've made some weight changes to make some marquee matchups. So be there. It is a fundraiser for UVU Wrestling. Admission is $10. So come, pay your admission, help the UVU Wrestling program out, and support Utah Wrestling.
Hey, Jeff, wasn't a family one $40?
Yeah, so family, immediate family is 40. Be there early because typically lines are long at 6:30. So you don't want to be stuck in the line when our matches are going on, and we have some great ones right off the bat. Anyways, let's get started. Let's start with the junior high matches at 5 o'clock. We have some good ones lined up for you. Cole, Nate, are you guys familiar with the junior high, more on the high school side this year? Do you guys have any thoughts on the junior high matches? Kind of ones that might be exciting for you guys?
Jeff, I gotta confess to you that I pulled up the high school matches. I don't have the.
Let me help you guys out.
Yeah.
Junior high matches. First of all, they're selected. Obviously, sometimes we miss some kids, and we get that. We do the best we can as a selection committee to get the kids from all over the state involved. And this is for 7th and 8th graders only. We've never allowed 6th grade and below into the All-Stars. So anyways, a couple matches I'm excited about. Starting off tonight, you got Dylan Dick from Uinta and Andrew Jensen of Champions. Andrew, he's been wrestling 150, 155 all year. Dylan moved back from Colorado. He's been, 130-ish. Andrew agreed to cut down to 143 and kind of get down a little bit lower. And Dylan, was up for the challenge to wrestle Andrew, even though he's going to be giving up, 7 to 10 pounds. He wanted to do it anyways. So just for that, in my head, it's a pretty big deal that Dylan's willing to go up in weight and wrestle Andrew. But even besides that, both wrestlers are top wrestlers in the country. I think it'll be a battle. I'm excited for that one. That'll be a fun one.
There's one coming. Hey, and Jeff, maybe you can tell us where to find the matchups for the junior high. But I do recall one as we were putting these matchups together, and I like these two kids. But Cooper Sanders and Gentry Warner.
No, Gabe and Channing Warner.
Oh, Gabe. It's Gabe Sanders, then, right?
Yeah.
And Channing Warner. But I like that. I like that matchup. Those are two good kids. I know they've had a chance to wrestle earlier this year, but when you get two kids of that level going, you never know what's going to happen. But I may be a little bit biased here, but last year I felt like Gentry's match was one of the funnest matches of the All-Star Duel. Just a ton of action. You're never out of a match when Gentry's wrestling because he's got the high flying Greco talent. So
Channing.
What do I keep saying?
You keep saying Gentry, but it's okay. That was actually Cole. That was one of the better matches of the night, including high school.
Yeah.
That was a fun match.
Yeah, but anyway, Paula. Of course, I know Channing, not Gentry, and Cooper.
Gabe, not Cooper.
Gabe, not Cooper.
Hey, Jeff. One that I think is going to be pretty good is Bridger Ricks. I think that's going to be he's a tough, hard-nosed kid against Drew Lang, right? Isn't that the matchup?
Oh yeah, that's so Dylan Dick, Andrew Jensen, Drew Lang, Bridger Ricks are my two matches that I'm most excited about. Hence, Dylan Dick and Andrew Jensen are leading off the night. Drew Lang and Bridger Ricks are closing the night. So I'm super excited. Bridger Ricks, he went out to Virginia, had a great tournament out there wrestling. I think it was up a weight class. They're meeting at 98 pounds. That's the other thing. By the way, that's the other thing I like about these junior high kids. Like, none of them are afraid to go whatever weight they have to go. Like, Bridger Ricks is coming down to 98. Dylan Dick is going up to 143. Who else? Kyson Garcia going up to 80. Hender's going up to 120. And they're just like fearless. They go after it. And it doesn't matter what weight. They're willing to wrestle the best. And that's why I love the junior high matches because, they're all so willing to go up a weight, down a weight, whatever they have to do to create a huge matchup for us fans. So just that in and of itself, I think is awesome with the junior high kids. But yeah, Drew Lang, Bridger Ricks I'm excited to watch that match. And I know they both train at Sanderson Wrestling Academy. So they've probably wrestled, 100 times, but the fans haven't seen it yet. And that's what we made the matchup for.
Well, and sometimes when the lights turn on, it can be a different match.
Right. That's right too. Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a good one. You got Will Korth, Dason Torgerson beat Will Korth at the Christmas Clash duel. Yeah, Christmas Clash duels. So that'll be a rematch. I watched that match. I'm excited to see the rematch there. Dawson Wood from another one that'll be good. Anyway, they're all good. I'm excited. Any last thoughts on junior high matches?
Jeff, where do you find those matchups?
WrestleUtah.com. So WrestleUtah.com. There's 3 articles talking about the junior high matches, one talking about the girl matches, one talking about the high school matches.
Perfect.
Okay, let's move on. So for the first time in history, we have added all girl matches to the high school all-star event. I think it's a huge step forward for girls in wrestling. Our numbers in girls continue to climb at a quick pace. I think Billy Cox actually sent me an email with numbers of girls in Utah year to year. Last year, I think if I'm doing this off memory, so Billy, you can send me a text if you're listening. I think last year there were 68 girls that took the hydration test. This year there were 100 girls that took the hydration test. So girls wrestling continues to increase in numbers. Super exciting. I'm super excited for the matches we have lined up. I think they'll put on a great show. And, hopefully we have thousands and thousands of people there watching and they'll see this and there'll be plenty of girls in the stands that will see this and want to start wrestling. So, we have 3 matches, 6 girls in the All-Stars. I think they'll all represent quite well. So, our featured girl match is Sage Mortimer, a freshman from ALA, against Kirsten Bush. I think she's a sophomore, right, from Bonneville. They're meeting up at 113. Sage agreed to go up and wrestle Kirsten at 113. Both national All-Americans. I think Sage, she won the Pan Am's national champ. Kirsten, double All-American at Fargo in the cadet and junior division. When you put all the matches down, boys, junior high, girls, Sage versus Kirsten is actually one of my most excited matches to watch and see what happens out of all the matches. I think it'll be that good. Anyways, on the all-girl matches we have.
What was that, Jeff?
You broke up, Jeff.
Oh, you guys have any thoughts on the all-girl matches coming up?
I'm excited to watch Haley wrestle. I know that she's coming off an injury, and she has some, she's been wrestling probably a little heavier than what she wants. But in my book, Haley was one of the first girls that kind of turned my eye, like, wow, girls can really wrestle. And I think she's kind of been a pioneer in Utah, at least in the recent years, in the last 10, 12 years that I can remember of girls wrestling in Utah. And man, I remember when she was little, she was tough. She would beat up a lot of the boys, and it was just kind of fun to watch her. So I'm kind of happy that she's in the All-Stars.
Yep, she used to wrestle a lot of our guys, right? Nate.
Yeah, oh yeah. Brandon Slaw, Stockton. I mean,
Anthony.
She beat up Anthony. Yeah, she beat up on a lot of our guys. Nick.
Yeah. And she's wrestling Maddie Figueroa. Maddie's from Mexico. Has done really well. She's been on the Mexican national team. She moved here wrestling at Stansbury. So that'll be a fun one, actually, her, Maddie and Haley. So, and then the other girl match, Marlene Dede is Springville and Jasmine Herrera from Copper Hills. So anyway, the girl matches will be wrestled the second match on each of the mats. So we'll have one high school match on each mat, and then the girls will be second up on each of the mats. So those will be good. Okay, moving on to the boys, the high school. Nate, I'll let you take this one and kind of give us your thoughts on the high school, the matches. Which ones you're most excited to see? And
I think for me, there's a few that stand out. Some of the ones are the ones where we have. I don't think we have a lot of like state champs going against each other. But let's see, Micah Tatioli and the Jinja Ninja, Chase Trussell. That'll be a good one. Two really good, different style kind of wrestlers. Micah's just a brick house, tough as nails. You know, Chase probably has a little more wrestling background going back with, you know, cadets and juniors back in Fargo and on the dual teams. And Micah's been on the dual teams. So, man, that'll be one heck of a match. Let's see. Another good match I'm looking forward to.
I'll bring one up that Nate's probably not going to bring up, but Stockton O'Brien versus Tyler is one that I'm definitely looking forward to. Those are two sophomores, both won titles as freshmen, and you know, potentially two 4-time state champions going at it. I think that's a good matchup. That's intriguing in a lot of ways. So I look forward to that match.
Yeah, that'll be a fun match. I'm excited to see how well Brady Lowry can do with Brock Hardy. Just kind of, Brady's got a real wide open, unique style of wrestling. I just think that'll be kind of a fun matchup to see how well what Brady can do to push Brock. What do you guys think on that one?
You know, Nate, I'm glad you brought that one up because I think, you know, you look at what Brock has been able to accomplish this year, and for Brady to accept that challenge and to say, hey, you know, I'll wrestle him. I like that. I like that Brady's stepping up to the plate on that. Everybody wants to win in an all-star duel. Everybody wants to go out and you know, it's a great event to invite grandmas, grandpas, relatives, friends, family, etc. And here Brady gets to go out against one of the best in the country. And so kudos to Brady for taking that match. And yeah, I agree. I think if there's anybody that can push him, I think Brady's the guy.
Now that match will be the last match of the night. I agree. I agree with both you guys. I'm excited for that match. Brady, his style is just wide open. He's what, I don't even know what. I think last I knew it was 25-0 with 25 pins. I mean, just open, gets after it, and Brock's the same way. And it'll be a fun match. And like you said, Nate, it'll be fun to see how Brady can do against Brock, and you know how the styles will clash. And I think it will be a fun match.
You bring up the stat that's really kind of unique is they're both pinners. They both go out to put you on your back and finish the match. So, you know.
Yeah. All right, another one, Zach Musselman and Braden Stevens.
Interesting.
Yeah, that will be a good one. I'm excited for that one as well. You know, Braden Stevens is a little bit bigger than Musselman. Musselman is dropping to 138, or maybe he already did drop to 138. They actually wrestled at Fall League before the season, so it'll be fun to see how both of them, you know, make adjustments and how they wrestle each other tomorrow night.
Well, there's there's a meet in the middle match that I think is kind of intriguing. You've got the Isaac Wilcox going up to wrestle Cole Moody, who's coming down, and you've listed it at 165. We mentioned at the beginning of the show, Cole Moody's coming off a big Doc Buchanan finish, and Isaac Wilcox is, again, like Jeff was saying about junior high kids, when you got a guy like Isaac that says, "Yeah, I'll wrestle. I'll go up and wrestle him." I think that says a lot for Isaac and his willingness to accept that challenge.
Yeah, that will be a good one. Isaac will be the smaller one of the two, but like you said, Cole, it's exciting when someone's willing to take that jump and move up and challenge one of the best. Possibly in the country. Cole Moody beat the number 5 kid. Isaac's ranked, I think, top 20 in the country as well. Fargo All-American. Definitely, that will be a fun one. And that match, just so everyone knows, is starting the night off. So if you're late, you will miss that match because that will be our first match. Hardy and Lowry will be our last match.
Are you doing, Jeff? And I didn't look through it close enough, but a solo match to start out and then a solo match to finish?
No, we'll go all 3 to start.
Okay.
So no solo matches. Depending on how the night's going, we may hold the Hardy Lowry match and do that solo. But it just kind of depends on time, and with it being a school night, we try and keep it as quick as possible. And so it depends on time and how the flow is going. We may or may not hold that match, but definitely we'll start out with 3 matches going. So another match that I think will be I'm excited to watch, Zach Kohler versus Anthony Herrera. Anthony, he wrestled at Fall League this year, and he impressed me. He wrestled, it seems to jumps, so I think that could actually be a good match, an interesting matchup. That's our third to last match of the night, but that's another one I'm excited to watch.
Jeff, 2 completely different styles of wrestling too. Anthony's long, uses a lot of leverage. Zach, more compact, and that could be a really fun match to watch.
Yeah. The other one I'm excited to watch, Gavin Ayotte and Riker Boyce at 120. I know they're same classification. Selection committee wanted to see that match. That's why they put them together, and they may or may not wrestle at state. The committee understood that, but definitely one that I think will give fans a fun match as well. Any last matches you guys are excited to see tomorrow?
I'm actually really, I want to see Sammy and Terrell. I think that'll be kind of a fun match. Sammy's got a unique style. I'm curious to see how he'll do against Terrell, because Terrell's a really good wrestler. But with Sammy's unique style, it could be an interesting match.
Yeah.
The thing that's always fun to me, Jeff, about the All-Star Duel is you look on paper at matchups, and I mean, I kind of mentioned the Doc Buchanan, how many matches were 1-to-1 overtime matches, and I'm going to just be honest, I think that's boring. I like to see guys go out, take risks, get after it, and oftentimes the best matches of the night, it's hard to tell on paper, and that's what's fun about the All-Star Duel, is it's not a team event. There's nobody worried about whether they give up team points, and so it's a night where you can just go out and cut loose and see what happens. So, I think that just the style of event that we have going with the All-Star Duel creates for some matchups that who knows what's going to be a fun match to watch. I mentioned earlier, and Nate confirmed, but one of the best matches of the night last year was a junior high match. So, and it was just fun. There was some tremendous scrambling and a lot of scoring and just some fun wrestling.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think, for all those, if you're in the All-Stars and you're watching, our advice would be cut loose. Give the fans a show. That's what this event's for. It's to give the fans in Utah a show. So don't be afraid to lose. Put it out on the line and give everything you got. So it'll definitely be a fun night. A couple real quick, I do want to mention we've had three. So we have 3 new All-Stars that are going to be participating. We got Brayson Wilcox from Monticello. He'll be going in at 152 for the 1A, 2A team in place of McKay Foy. You got Kagan Canfield from Bear River. He'll be taking the 4A spot at 152 in place of Logan Gustafson. And then you also got Jake Frost of Union. He'll be in at 145 in place of Dylan Broughton of Delta. So congratulations to those 3 All-Stars, Kagan Canfield, Jake Frost, and Brayson Wilcox. They'll be competing tomorrow as well. And also thanks to those 3 for stepping up last minute and getting down to weight and being willing to show up and put on a show tomorrow. So also another thing of note, new this year, we are doing fight shorts and rash guard. So all of our All-Star participants will be competing in fight shorts and rash guard with their respective team colors, the classification colors. So each classification will have a different color. Be kind of a new added element, which will be fun, see how it goes and see how the wrestlers and fans like that. So any last thoughts, Cole and Nate, before we close out tonight?
One of my favorite events in wrestling. I will say this. I get cornered all the time. I get stopped all the time and talked to about, I think this kid deserves to be on the All-Star team. And I think he's going to be the state champ in that weight, in that classification this year. And there's politics involved. There's lots of criticisms of the process and the selection process with the All-Star duel. Let me just say this, having been involved since the beginning of this event, there's no easy decisions when you're choosing All-Star teams. And you might be right. Your kid may have got the short end of the stick. But don't let either being in the All-Star duel or not being in the All-Star duel define your season. It's a tough process. All the kids that are represented, I think they deserve to be there, and there may be some kids that are staying at home that also deserve to be there. But we draw that line, and it's a tough thing to do. So let me just say, hey, from somebody who's been a part of that selection process for a long time, it's not an easy task.
I would second that motion. This year has been tough. Like Cole said, we make the decisions based on the best knowledge and best that we can do, and in the end, it's sometimes not right. But all the kids that are there, they deserve it too. So I mean, there might be some kids at home that don't deserve it, that do deserve it at home too.
Can I throw some of the coaches under the bus? Because sometimes a lot of it's because the coaches don't get back to us.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's a good part of it.
Some kids get left out because the coaches don't get back and say, hey, this kid is at this weight, and get back with us in time. And so sometimes we make decisions based off of the information, like you said, Jeff, the information we've been given. So a lot of times it's not even the committee, it's the coaches.
Well, yeah. and I would say be careful there too. I mean, I'm going to defend the coaches. Coaching has become such an administrative job. There's a lot on those guys' plates. So, but yeah, it is. It's important. I've always preached about the media and how we've always struggled. I think the internet's helped with that. But coaches struggle to get their team covered in the media because they've got so much on their plate. There's no other coaching position in sports where every Friday and Saturday, all day, Friday and Saturday, you're in a high school gymnasium somewhere.
Yeah, definitely a tough process. Even selecting matchups is a tough process, and we do the best we can try and put on the best show for the fans. Sometimes we get it wrong. I know that we do the best we can with what we can. But super fun event. I'm excited for it. It'll be fun tomorrow. A lot of effort goes into this event, a lot of time, and hopefully it'll be a good show tomorrow. So anyways, again, junior high starts at 5 o'clock. High school starts at 6:30. Come to the junior high matches. Stay for the high school. Try and get them done as quick as possible since it is a school night. Plus, on top of all that, you're supporting UVU wrestling while you're there. So anyways, thank you for listening tonight. We'll see everyone tomorrow. After tomorrow, remember, UVU versus South Dakota State, number 12 in the country, on Friday. Don't miss that as well. We got a lot of good stuff happening this week.
Is that 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
7 o'clock on Friday.
Sounds good.
Get your free tickets on WrestleUtah.com. There's an article that explains how to do that. So anyways, signing off. We'll see you guys tomorrow and then on Friday as well.
See you, B-Dub.